Hello everyone, George here again. I thought I'd make a quick video because the other day someone asked me, I was talking about taking up boxing classes and talking about sparring and doing the competition. So they asked me if I take up boxing as a sport to get in shape and I don't want to compete, do I still have to spar? Is it recommended that you spar? And the short answer, of course, is no. You can. There's a lot of people that take up the sport to get into shape, amazing shape. Do it for years. They never spar. They never intend to spar. Never intend to compete. So no, you don't have to spar if you don't want to compete. You can just do boxing and get into shape. The longer answer has a few more reasons why I think even if you do not think that you are going to compete, why you should spar. Reason number one is that it is a huge sense of accomplishment. Well, first of all, to get into the ring and not trip on the ropes is accomplishment number one. It's a huge sense of accomplishment to put on the headgear, put on the groin protector, put in the mouthpiece, and get into the ring and throw punches at each other for a minute, 2 minutes, kind of thing, even 3 minutes, depending if you're younger. There's nothing like, people take the boxing classes for months or for years. They hit the heavy bag, they learn these combinations, they move well, but there's nothing like actually getting to the ring against another person who is throwing punches at you while you're trying to throw punches at them. It's not about hitting somebody, it's not about hurting somebody, it's about, it's a whole different level than what you're used to, what you're just doing on the heavy bag. Reason number one. Reason number two is it does apply some ways to real life in some ways, work or real life. So to use a phrase, a quote from Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. And what I mean by that is, so the first time I sparred, I got into the ring, someone comparable level as me, and I'm standing there and we're kind of jabbing, throwing punches, and he hit me, not hard, hit me in the face. And I thought, wait a minute, you actually hit me in the face. What's up with that? And I wanted to say, can you stop hitting me in the face? And then as we kept sparring, I'm trying to remember the combinations we learned months or a year ago. And while I'm trying to remember this, he's still trying to hit me and punch me in the face. So at one point, I also want to say, can you stop for a second? Let me remember that combination Coach Blue taught us 6 months ago. So I think it'll work now. So what that example leads into, and what the Mike Tyson quote leads into, is that in real life, in real world, you will get hit in the face. You will get punched. You will get knocked down. How you react to that is super important. And so when you spar, it helps you to think a bit quicker. It helps you to understand how to react to situations. It's a little bit of a Zen thing. Like, you can't sit there or stand in the boxing ring and overthink what you're trying to do. It's a little bit of instinct, but that instinct comes from practicing and repetition many, many times, so that you don't have to think too much about, I want to throw combination A or combination B. That also applies in the real world. Many a times, for some of those folks out there, you're in the middle of a presentation to an important client, and he throws, for lack of a better word, he throws that punch in your face that you weren't expecting. How you react to that, how you roll with that punch, how you counterpunch that, is really important. So when you spar, it helps you to get into that mindset that, things are not going to go your way and always go your way, and you have to kind of prepare for when someone is trying to hit you in the face. That's reason number two. I think the most important reason is really reason number two, that it kind of helps you in your everyday life in terms of how you react to situation. I think Lawrence Taylor from the Giants said, I can get knocked down 10 times as long as I get up 11 times. So it's really important in life, I think. And I'm kind of learning that now. Another reason, and this is just my own personal not viewpoint, but something I've noticed, is that I've been going to the gym for a certain amount of time now, and people would say hello. They kind of do the nod of the head, and as I walk by and kind of acknowledge. But after I sparred, people would make a point of coming up to me and saying hello, or do the fist bump and knowing my name. So I don't know if it's maybe my imagination, but you get a different level of respect from the other people in the gym when they see you in the ring, and I think that's because it takes a certain amount of courage because when you spar, you don't often spar by yourself, right? There's often a certain number of people around, maybe the coach, a couple of people watching you. So it takes a certain amount of courage to step into the ring, knowing you can make a complete fool of yourself, or knowing you can, not hurt somebody else, but make a fool of somebody else. That takes more courage than I think people realize. And that courage garners a certain level of respect from the other people who have done it. So again, it's maybe just my imagination or just my perception of things, but definitely a lot more people seem to know who I was after I sparred. And really, those are kind of the main reasons why I think you should spar, even if you don't plan to compete. Now, if you plan to spar, it's very important that you feel safe, that you don't feel like you're overmatched by somebody. Even if you spar against someone who has more experience than you need to both understand that they have more experience, and it's not so much that they quote unquote go easy on you, but that they understand that you are trying to work on things and maybe they're trying to work on something. One thing that Carlos and Coach Blue does is that the first round, person A works on the defense and ducking and slipping, and person B is working on just trying to hit the person, trying to work on the punches and combinations, and then next round they switch, and next round they switch. So it's not a full-on sparring, but people are able to work on certain things they want to work on. I've plenty of times two people go into the ring to spar and they say, hey, I want to work on my movement. Can we just work on movement and not really go hell for leather trying to punch at each other? And they kind of agree to that. So you have to feel safe in the gym and safe with the people at the gym before you get into the ring to spar, because that's really important. Second thing, as I mentioned before, you will get hit. Someone's going to hit you in the face or hit you in the body. And you have to mentally prepare for that, because it's a little bit jarring the first time it happens. Even though you're taking a combat sport, this is going to happen. The first time it happens, it's a little bit like, oh, crap, they actually punched me in the face. And the third thing to spar is that you have to remember to listen to what the coach is telling you. You have to remember to try to stay calm and breathe in between rounds. You have to remember that you're doing this for fun at the end of the day, and it's hard to remember that sometimes. But you have to remember that you're doing this for fun, you're taking this as a challenge, and not to get wrapped up in the fact that maybe you missed that combination, or maybe you didn't do it correctly. And something else to remember, that you have to, if you're going to spar, you have to practice not a little bit of a poker face, as it's called in some ways. That you can't show that, oh, you're disappointed because that combination didn't go well. You're disappointed because that person hit you when you weren't expecting it. You have to try to maintain your composure so that you don't seem like you're getting completely rocked or like a deer caught in the headlights. It's going to happen the first time, but you have to try to overcome that so that if you actually do spar, if you actually do compete, the other boxer cannot read your face and understand what's going on when they throw the combinations or hit you. So that's it for the day. Hopefully I will have some more sparring videos soon, and some more videos from classes. Just my schedule's been a little bit wonky lately. Good to always talk to you guys. Love you all. See you soon.